Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ulrike, super happy to have you back with me on the skincare journey. I'm very excited for today's video because I decided to talk about some products, some K-beauty products that I've been super obsessed with lately. And I feel talking about products that I really love is always the most exciting thing to do, right? So let's get into it. The first product I want to talk about is one I've already shown on social media, but it was a while ago, and I don't think I've updated you on it yet. Also, not everyone follows me on the Instagram, even though you should. This is a brand that I got to know when I visited it was like a K-beauty and Korean culture expo in Frankfurt. It was really interesting. And a lot of brands were showing their products. The brand is called Lalarecipe. And this is a vegan and cruelty-free Korean brand, an indie brand that does seem to be very focused on the Western market. All of their explanations and everything is in English. And they seem to be really keen to have those like PETA approved, vegan, Eve certified, all of these more international certificates that usually shows you they are more focused on the global and Western market than the domestic one. The people behind the brand were super nice. I had a really nice chat with them, tried out a couple of their products. So many of the products are so interesting. They're still a little bit difficult to get here in Europe, so I don't know yet how to order some of the products that I tried as samples and really liked. I did get one product, full size, and that's the one I want to talk about today, and it's this one. It comes in this cute pink bottle, and this is the actual product color. This is from their Yuzu line. It's the Yuzu Self-Foaming 3-in-1 Peel Cleanser. I don't know if you remember this short-lived trend on YouTube, beauty YouTube, mainstream beauty YouTube, so not so much the key beauty niche, where a couple of quite well-known influencers tried one particular Korean self-foaming mask. I think it was from Elisa Vecca, or however the brand is called. And I remember being really annoyed by it because they all kind of used it the wrong way and then just kind of did it for show without actually really taking the mask seriously. And so that trend died very quickly because it was just kind of presented as something really silly and exotic that didn't really do anything. But I personally always really liked those self-foaming masks. I think they're really fantastic. And I was quite sad when they got out of style a little bit. Now this cleanser has the same mechanic. So it is a gel that you apply to your face, dry face, and then it foams up by itself due to enzymes. And I think baking soda is usually what causes that foaming mechanism the moment it gets into contact with oxygen. So it kind of already starts foaming up when you put it on your, on your fingers. You have to work very quickly with this. This is a cleanser that also contains AHA, BHA, and PHA. Low dosage, but still, it does actually do something quite noticeable. As for the 3-in-1 promise, basically the idea is that you cleanse your face, exfoliate it, and have a facial mask, a cleansing, deep cleansing, pore cleansing facial mask in one go, which I would say is true. The only thing about this cleanser to me is that this is not an everyday kind of cleanser. It's pretty intense. I would say this is more like a cleansing mask, but when you do use it, you can skip your foaming or second step cleanser. The way it basically works is you oil cleanse your face if you have to, or use a micellar water if you don't really wear much makeup. Then make sure to pat dry your face. It has to be completely dry. And then you apply a tiny amount, I would say maybe like half a teaspoon, if that, on your face. Again, be quick because it starts foaming up instantly. You will notice it the moment you apply it, so be like super, super quick. You can apply it on your face, on your neck, down to here if you want to, and then you wait and let the foaming action happen and feel the tingle. It tingles a bit on your face. It's not super terrible and it doesn't burn or anything, but you will notice the baking soda working, basically. I usually just let it sit on the face for about a minute. Doesn't really have to be much longer, and it doesn't really do much if you just leave it on for too long, and it can just be a little bit too much for the skin. So I would say 2 minutes max. You could just brush your teeth or something while you do it, or just wait for a little bit. And then you basically massage in the foam a little bit to help with the exfoliation, and then you wash it off. And after using this, my skin always feels and looks super clean. This really gives you a deep cleanse, and you will absolutely also notice that your skin is softer, and that especially sort of roughness of the skin is much improved. This is a deep, deep exfoliation, so maybe not for super sensitive skin types. This also does contain fragrance. It smells really nice. It smells of Yuzu, basically. Oh, it's such a nice, I love Yuzu skincare. I'm obsessed with that mix of citrus and orange. That to me is a very pleasant scent. But it might just be a bit too much for sensitive skin because citrus oils and citrus peel extracts usually are a little bit much when you're hypersensitive. And again, the exfoliation is quite noticeable. But if you can handle that, especially if you have oilier skin, this is so beautiful. And honestly, it's just really fun to use. I really just enjoy it. This to me is always like a treat. When I feel kind of a bit annoyed with my skin and I feel like a little bit frustrated with my routine, I always kind of go, oh, I still have this. And it's just a joy to use. And it has this instant result that might just be a little bit shallow, maybe not as intense as when you do really high quality chemical exfoliation regularly or your retinols, but you see an instant effect. And sometimes, honestly, that's just nice. So this one, maybe more for fun. It's a little bit playful. It's a tiny bit gimmicky, but it is gimmicky in a way that I really enjoy. I can highly recommend this brand. Their skincare, especially their serums and their creams, are top notch. Those are not to be laughed at or dismissed as silly. They're fantastic. And I do really, really like this cleanser as well. Bring back the self-foaming masks is what I'm trying to say here. And the next product is a serum, a pretty recent launch from a brand that is another one of those I feel are surprisingly often overlooked by Western skinfluencers, even though this brand has been successful in Korea for many years now, especially with their hyaluronic acid toner. This new serum, one of 2 launches, I was tempted to get both, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to focus on one for now. I can't just constantly buy everything. I instantly got hooked on it just seeing the ingredient list and having used it for a couple of times. Yeah, this is a good one. And I think, again, it is one that unfortunately most large name and large following skinfluencers will likely overlook. And that is a shame. And it is from The Lab by Blanc, Doux, the Expertrue Toning Serum. Anti-blemish for sensitive skin. This is it. Now, blemish, I have explained this before in my video for about brightening serums in Korea. Blemish usually doesn't refer to acne or pimples. In Korean skincare, it usually refers to hyperpigmentation. So this one targets hyperpigmentation, but it is also meant to soothe and calm the skin. It is described by the brand as a multi-purpose, slow-aging blemish serum, and it contains a ton of brightening and soothing ingredients. So if you have sensitive skin and if you often find brightening serums a little bit too intense, this might be a good alternative. I have really been enjoying it, and I keep reaching for it, even though I do have a whole lineup now of really great brightening serums. But what this one does, and none of the others do, is that it really is so gentle. Now, the brightening ingredients in this serum are mostly niacinamide and then ethyl ascorbyl ether, which is a vitamin C derivative that I have also talked about before. It's seen kind of as the gold star vitamin C derivative, the one with the most research on it, I believe. And licorice root extract, beautiful brightening ingredient, plus sugarcane extract, which is a natural AHA. So it's an alternative to, or works similar to, glycolic acid. On the more soothing and calming side, this contains a Centella asiatica complex, so Centella asiatica extract, madecassoside, and asiaticoside, and panthenol as well, plus it's fragrance and alcohol-free. Most of the Blanc Doux products are. Now, the brightening effect so far hasn't been as intense as maybe some of the other products that I've tried, but because it balances out so nicely in terms of soothing and calming, I still consider this to be a really fantastic serum, especially if you're still sort of a beginner with things like vitamin C or AHA. It's very gentle, and it soothes instantly. I also feel it works really well over on acne-prone skin. I don't have acne, but I do still get breakouts. Weirdly enough, lately I've been getting breakouts here. So I've been trying to actually use products that particularly target breakouts, and I feel this really helps. Maybe because the Centella asiatica is in there, maybe just because it instantly soothes and has these anti-inflammatory ingredients. Really, I've been reaching for this so much. I always feel my skin looks particularly healthy when I use it, and I've never had a negative reaction to any of the ingredients. Beautiful, also beautiful texture, which I'll show you for sure somewhere in here. Very light, very watery, but still super hydrating. It contains so many hydrating ingredients: squalane, glycerin, beta-glucan, sunflower seed oil. This is rich, but it's definitely still super suitable for oilier skin types. Dry skin will also like this, particularly just anyone who is sensitive, while at the same time wanting to try out a brightening serum. I can really recommend this. It's been impressing me greatly, and it reminded me to try more from this brand because I've been neglecting them a little bit. And honestly, it is one of the best derma brands coming out of Korea, pretty much. This next product is not a new release, but it was new to me. It's in fact an absolute K-beauty classic. So popular in Korea. And again, it is a brand, a Korean brand, pretty much almost a legacy brand, I want to say, that somehow constantly gets overlooked by Western influencers. And it is Hanyul. This is the Hanyul Yuja sleeping pack. And it comes in this beautiful packaging. The Hanyul packaging, oh, it's so aesthetically pleasing. And it looks like this. Hanyul, I believe, from what I remember, is a more Pacific brand. This is a glass jar, and everything about this product is just gorgeous. This is truly an iconic product. It has been winning awards and always kind of wins a lot of those consumer polls in Korea for a brightening sleeping pack for years and years. It keeps winning the Powder Room Award, for instance. I forgot in which category, but I think it is the sleeping pack or overnight mask one. And I think, from how I understand it, Hanyul is especially popular with women my age, so 40 plus, because it is kind of a, I guess, beginner hanbang brand, an affordable hanbang brand. It uses the herbalist Korean herbalist tradition, basically. So it uses a lot of ginseng, red rice extract, and this line in particular, the yellow one, uses yuzu extract, or juzu. I don't know why I can't pronounce this today. So like the same as the Lalarecipe, and it smells just as good as the Lalarecipe one. Oh, this smells so nice. I love this so much. So this sleeping cream is sold as an overnight brightening treatment. It contains yuzu extract, citrus lemon peel extract, all sorts of citrus fruit extracts. I've talked about this as well, that very often so-called vitamin products in Korea don't necessarily contain pure vitamin C, but rather fruit extracts that the idea is that the fruit itself contains vitamin C, so it will work the same as pure vitamin C, which I'm doubtful about, but I don't know enough about the science to either refute it or say, no, it definitely works. I just think you need to be aware when you buy a vitamin serum, not a vitamin C serum in Korea, or cream or sleeping pack, that it usually means it doesn't contain pure ascorbic acid or derivatives, but rather citrus fruit extracts or apple extract or something like that, right? Just so you are clear about the terminology. I don't know if this necessarily is super brightening, but it does do really beautiful things to my skin. Now, first up, the texture. So amazing. I'll definitely show you on camera, but I don't even know if it can capture the beauty of this texture. Amora Pacific just really knows how to develop products with pleasing textures. This has a gel texture, but it is kind of a silky, richer gel. It glides onto skin so beautifully, and then your nose also gets hit with this beautiful fresh yuzu scent. Just like the Lalarecipe product, not for those people who are allergic to fragrance or citrus oils or any like that. So just so you know. Also contains a bit of alcohol. So again, maybe not for super sensitive skin people. But I do really love the smell, and I do really just love the whole experience of putting it on my skin. It just feels so luxurious and delightful, and it kind of just gets soaked up by the skin instantly. It leaves a bit of a film, like most sleeping creams do, because they're usually quite high in silicones or mineral oils. Here it's silicones mostly that create that silkiness, basically. And it really does such a good job plumping up the skin. Brightening, again, maybe not so much, but overall it just smoothes the skin and really nourishes it without overpowering the skin. So if you, like me, are more on the mature side, but still also struggle with combo and oily skin issues, among them breakouts and being kind of overwhelmed by too rich textures, this is a really, really great overnight cream to choose. Your skin just looks so fabulous the next day because it really seals in all the moisture and hydration and just kind of plumps up your skin from the inside out. This can be used either on top of your moisturizer. That's usually how sleeping creams are supposed to be used. But you can also just replace your nighttime moisturizer with this. It does work best overnight, I find, because again, it leaves a bit of a film. And especially if you combine it with a very hydrating serum or toner, or you did a sheet mask before, just that combo, your skin will look like $1,000,000. I totally get why this is a cult product. It also isn't super expensive. I got it for really cheap because I bought it again at a sale, Olive Young sale, and I got a little refill with it as well. Watch out for sales, because the Yuzu line is not as expensive as some of the other Hanyul stuff. The red rice one is more expensive. This is so beautiful. Everything about it is pleasing and makes me happy. This next product was an absolute surprise hit to me. In fact, I ordered this kind of reluctantly because I felt, I feel this is gonna go super viral, and I think I need to review it, but I also don't believe it's gonna work. Well, actually, it super works. I don't quite understand how, but it super works. This is the INNISFREE Retinol Cica Barrier Defense Cream. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. My lighting is a bit strange today. I don't know what's going on. I think my old lighting gear is giving up on me, so I apologize. I'm not rich, so everything's very cheap that I use. I'm so sorry. Anyway, that's what it looks like. This is the new fancy INNISFREE repackaging design. So this is the companion cream to the very famous, very popular, also went viral, Retinol Cica Barrier, either serum or ampoule. I don't remember which of the two, but basically a serum. When this came out, and all the influencers tried it and were like, this is amazing. The best retinol product I've ever tried. I didn't quite understand it, because the thing about this, it's the same for the cream as for the serum. The retinol in it, the percentage of retinol is completely negligible. So I don't really think it can actually do much. I'm still baffled by this, because as I said, I actually ended up absolutely adoring this cream, but technically it should not be working, but somehow it still works. I'm guessing it must be something else in the cream besides the retinol, because this cream also instantly did stuff to my skin, whereas retinol, of course, takes months to actually show any type of effect. So guys, I don't know. I'm just reporting back, okay? I don't quite get it either. The percentage of retinol in this is actually only 0.015%. So it really isn't a lot. Now, this does also contain niacinamide, adenosine, which is good for anti-aging, and licorice root extract, plus, of course, the Cica, so a Centella asiatica complex, and a couple of hydrators, and contains various forms of, I believe, hyaluronic acid, from what I remember. Somehow didn't write that down, but that's what I remember from glancing at the ingredient list. So it will be hydrating, plumping, it does have anti-aging benefits. But again, the retinol in it technically shouldn't do much. And maybe it doesn't. Again, maybe the magic comes from something else. Let me just explain to you why I love this so much. First of all, I was surprised when I unboxed it. I actually did an unboxing video where I showed this, where I reacted for the first time, because I thought it would actually be a cream, but it's more of a very light gel. That was the first surprise to me. The texture, again, Amore Pacific just nails textures. An absolute delight. Super silky and just kind of, especially when you are more on the oilier side, it just kind of doesn't feel overwhelming at all. It sinks into skin super fast. It almost turns kind of not fully watery, but it's so light and so melty, delicious, beautiful, beautiful. And it just doesn't feel too heavy or too much. This cream can be used either in the morning or evening, which also points to the fact that the retinol content isn't that high. I would still always use a sunscreen, and you should always be careful with retinol products, but yeah, it does not have that much. It's very low dosage. I tend to use it more at night, and I also, because it is so light and I am mature skinned and need some form of nourishment for my skin, I tend to kind of lay it underneath another type of moisturizer. For instance, this combination, amazing. So if you combine it with the Hanyul Yuzu mask, these two together, your skin will look like $1,000,000. What it does for my skin is that, and it pretty much did this after the first use, it just kind of almost lifts it a little bit. Again, magic. I don't know why. And it certainly really helps to plump it up. There is just something about it that makes my skin look noticeably more youthful after only a few uses. Guys, I cannot fully explain it, but I'm just reporting back. I have been using this every single night since I got it, to the point where I'm almost like, it's starting to be less and I might have to repurchase it. I will likely repurchase this because I just adore this. As a very light, in terms of actives, very light, very gentle anti-aging treatment, this has really, really blown me away in a completely surprising way. It's gorgeous and I'm an absolute fan. And honestly, now I kind of want to try the ampoule. This last product is also a surprise hit, and it is also a product that I mostly ordered because it is going viral in Korea, and I kind of wanted to snatch up the product before maybe other influencers find it here in the West and also make it go viral. Although so far, not that many people have been talking about this. And it is a Sunstick. Now, Sunsticks, I honestly kind of have stayed away from them because I kind of don't fully trust them. I don't know. I just feel it must be so difficult to get the dosage right to have full coverage. So I've always just been a Sunstick skeptic, as it were. So this is the new, quite new, Abib Airy Sunstick Smoothing Bar, which looks like this. Comes in this sleek packaging. Abib packaging I really like a lot. And it's kind of orange slightly. So the first really special thing about the Sunstick is that it is water resistant and sweat proof. To find water resistant sun products in Korea isn't always that easy. For us here in the West, I mean, they're available in Korea, but usually not sold as widely as the non-waterproof viral sunscreens that we usually talk about here. So I was really excited about it being waterproof and especially sweat proof because TMI, but I sweat a lot. I get a lot of hot flashes because I'm already perimenopausal, and it's not fun and it's not pretty. And it has actually become a bit of a problem with sunscreen not lasting as well because, yeah, I kind of just sweat it out when it's really hot. So that did really attract me to this sunscreen. But here is the main reason why this sunscreen, the Sunstick, really won me over, almost against my will, because again, I was kind of skeptical how to feel about Sunsticks. It has this almost blurring effect on the skin, sort of pore blurring effect that is so flattering. You put it on, and it also has like this, the shape of it is really good, at least for my skin shape, because it just kind of really perfectly glides on, and it works really well on all the sort of nook and crannies of your face. Wonderful for reapplication. And the instant you apply it, it just kind of blurs out, especially sort of large pores and things like that. So just so flattering. Also completely transparent. You see absolutely nothing. No white cast, nothing, absolutely none of that. It is pretty much invisible. So also works on top of makeup. It does kind of disrupt the makeup a little bit, but I think all Sunsticks must certainly do that. But it does work, and it works very well if you don't wear any makeup for reapplication. Again, blurring effect, and also a little bit of a sheen, but not too much. It is not mattifying, so if you want a mattifying Sunstick, this might not satisfy you, but it does not create this super shiny or super oily surface. I think it is a very nice balance between slightly shiny, flatteringly so, and being too shiny, oily, too glazed donut style. And this blurring effect that it creates, a sort of smoothing surface, I've never seen anything like it. So obsessed. I now always bring this with me to the gym because It just works very well before and after a workout, obviously, because again, I sweat a lot. Guys, it's not pretty. But it does seem to hold up. And yeah, the water resistance, because sunscreens are called functional cosmetics in Korea, it means they have to actually prove the claims that they are making for the sunscreen. So the water resistance needs to be proven via tests. So I'm guessing you can trust that. For me, this has really converted me to sunsticks. I think this is a more interesting sunstick than the Beauty of Joseon one that all the influencers are shilling. Abib, to me, one of the best sort of natural beauty derma brands from Korea that also tends to get a little bit overlooked because all the influencers are focusing very heavily on Beauty of Joseon. So many wonderful products from Abib, and I think this is much more interesting than a Beauty of Joseon sunstick, personally. And there we are. Those were 5 products, K-beauty products, that I've really been loving, have been obsessed with, which I feel probably came across because I was raving about them quite enthusiastically, but it comes from the heart, especially those products where I was actually quite skeptical if they would be anything good or if I just was wasting my money. So I hope I maybe helped you discover something new. Most of those have really just recently launched, so I feel maybe not that many people have talked about them yet. And maybe you discovered something new. If you're new here, hi, welcome, and maybe consider subscribing, sticking around. I do a new video every week. It is usually focused on K-beauty, sometimes other skincare brands, a lot of derma brands, pharmacy. I want to do more on French pharmacy brands as well, so watch out for that. I'll be in France soon. I live close to the French border, so I'm planning maybe doing a day trip and maybe doing some skincare shopping. We'll see what the autumn brings. And maybe leave a like to support this channel. It always helps to support a video if you give it a like. A comment also helps for the algorithm to pick up the video. But that's up to you. But I do love talking to you in the comments. And I hope to see you again next week for the new video. Until then, please take care. Bye.